Columbia is a really unique city in that it's been here for a very long time. And what's really unique is it's changed so much in terms of the economics and the population and its growth, yet transit stayed the same. So it really didn't adapt with the community. And that was, I think, the biggest challenge that the community faced. Not just a question of where's the money going to come from, but what is going to be the shape, what is going to be the color and the shape of transit for years to come.
Personally, it affected me. I had a doctor that was out in Irmo, and I couldn't get to him after the dwindling of services. So after the penny tax was passed, those services were reinstated. So from a personal level, I was affected, and I know that other people were affected just as well.
The service has improved greatly since the passage of the penny tax. The idea that the buses now run till almost midnight, I can go to shows and to concerts that I wasn't able to do before. I can go to church on Sundays that I couldn't do that for 2 years before. It's just being able to have an independent lifestyle is just great.
Penny program has allowed us to do a lot of different things. I think the first thing we were able to do is we were able to increase the frequency of services for customers, and that's a big deal. We went from seeing a bus every hour to every 30 minutes or every 40 minutes. It really changed the game. We were able to match grants that would allow us to put in bus stops so the customers knew where to stand, how to stand. We were able to add technology that let them track where their vehicle is or pay their fare by credit card, which previously you could only do with cash. So it made it really, really flexible, made it much, much easier to ride.
I should note the Penny has been extremely helpful. The implementation team, they've taken this on, and anywhere they're doing upgrades, at the very least they're adding the boarding and alighting areas for us. If they have more right-of-way that they can purchase, including purchasing, not just if it's there, but they'll go out and buy it if we say this is a good place for a bench or a shelter, and they've been incredibly helpful.
We've been able to do a number of other things, such as replacing our entire fleet of vehicles for persons with disabilities. We've brought in a new marketing campaign, and that was done through replacing equipment. So when you still see the older equipment, that's because we're still in process of replacing. What you'll see next year is the final push of over $10 million in new buses that will arrive in 2017.
The importance of public transit to the community is really immeasurable. You've got folks that need to get to jobs. I've seen the time when we didn't have good bus service and people lost their jobs.
The most underserved part of the community had been the lower Richland community as well as South Columbia. And if you really look at our before and after, we have a massive footprint. We still have more to do, and we're not satisfied with how far we've gone, but we at least can take some pride in that we've made an impact in that community. So up next is the Northeast and the Northwest. The marketing has been, I think, in a way, looking back, my favorite part, to take an acronym that was really hard to pronounce and got confused all the time, to give us a brand that is identifiable and attractive, and quite frankly, we're cool.
After the penny tax was passed, our older buses were wrapped, and they did get a new design. It's a psychedelic look. I was a little bit hesitant about it at first, but I think the younger crowd tends to enjoy the look. We did get a makeover inside with new seats and a new decor.
They're very identifiable as you're waiting on the bus to come. You see these colors coming down the street and you go, oh boy, here comes the COMET.
So even though you may not use public transportation, think of those people that do use it, and please support public transportation, because I don't own a vehicle and I use public transportation myself, and a lot of us that don't have cars need the support of everyone that have vehicles and don't have vehicles, but support us in our effort in making public transportation work.
And you talk about how does that make an impact? It affects the workforce, it affects the passengers, it affects the community. It's a complete win for everyone involved.
Residents, please go to richlandpenny.com to see how your penny is impacting your community.